Today is May 1st, 2019, and it marks the first episode of Ben's Blunders. The materials you need for this craft, you begin with an old hardcover book. Okay. So we have one of these. I grew it myself. Okay, so I think what I'm supposed to do is everything that's flops, like an old woman's arm, we're going to get rid of. And we're just going to kind of get in there. So we're going to do that, and then we're on this side, I guess. Got to make it talk, you know. You know, some people tell me that going with the bad cop routine isn't always what you do. But I mean, have you seen the size of my X-Acto knife? Gotta do something with that, you know? So you want to take this, and you're going to reinforce the book cover by gluing your paper or fabric to the inside cover. This, I believe, is glue. But I'm not sure. So I'm going to use this one, because this one has Elmer's on it, and they make horses out of their glue. You have this thing, and you cut. Always run with scissors. I'm thinking it would look weird if all of a sudden the Arctic came in on the side like that. Flat Earthers have a riot. So we're going to go over here, and I'm thinking we're just going to have two Canadas. I don't know what this is. Comment below if you know what this is. And we're just gonna kind of make sure you get the corners. It might not be enough, so if need be, we can go back and figure it out.
No, please use the brush.
What brush?
Please. The paintbrush.
Why? I'm being told to use the paintbrush. I can't imagine why. Evidently, this is not favorable for the glue. When I was a kid in class, we read Old Yeller, and that has nothing to do with this. And I just felt like I needed to share that with you. I hope you have a better day than Old Yeller did. He died. Spoilers. Yeah. And we're gonna bring back the glue brush. We like this. I don't know if, that might have been too far. Don't worry, it's not a problem. I mean, this is the 21st century. Now's as good a time as any to be liberal with our glue. We're just gonna get it in there, you know? And then this makes me uncomfortable. When you're done, you should have something that resembles this. Next comes selecting your paper. If you want this to be an art journal, a sketch or watercolor paper would be best. Take your paper of choice and fold it in half, lining it up with your book cover and marking where you need to cut it to fit inside your book. This might take a while. So I'm placing it roughly in the middle, and so we're gonna place it like this. And if there's approximately this is gonna go well. We're gonna take it a couple at a time, because you don't want to hurt your scissors. Scissors have feelings. When I was in a grade, I had a teacher named Mrs. Blueberry. I think it was Blueberry, but I called her Blueberry. She always wore blue. And I was in an arts and crafts class, which was the last time I did anything arts and craftsy, and I failed. This is pretty much new, uncharted water for me. I don't really know what I'm doing. Once this one is cut, you can use it as a template for how many pages. Oh, that would be smart. For instance, with 20 pages, you may want to put them in 4 groups of 5 pages each. If I do them in. So we're gonna set these in groups of 4. I don't know how many pages we have, because we went to Joann Fabrics and they had a sale, and I was able to get 20 sheets of paper for $3, and that was really cool. After this, mark the spots on the inside of the spine where you will sew in your pages. I'm thinking I just start poking holes. For a book with 4 groups of pages, you will mark 4 dots across the spine. We're gonna start poking holes in them. So, how do you use a ruler? Well, that's close enough. Should I put thread on this? We're gonna... Okay. I can't believe that worked. I should do another one on the other side. Okay, we're gonna do one right here. Oh, that was easier. So now, well, that's problematic. Is there a hole on this one?
There wasn't a hole.
I don't think it got through, so we're just gonna give it another whack. Well, that's not good. And believe it or not, that turned out really well. Using these dots as a guide, thread a needle with a thick string or twine. We have some of that here. Do I put the holes in the pages too? And with luck, your holes will line up. Hey, that was accurate. Well, that was surprising. Using these dots as a guide, thread a needle with a thick string or twine and sew in your first group of pages through the first page column. Alright, so now the first task is going to be attempting to hold the needle. We've tied a loop. We've made contact through the paper, and then we're gonna put it through the hole. I should have started in the middle. Sometimes you just gotta go page by page, you know? Well, I think this is a success. Once you've got it through on your first try, you can just kind of... Now, we have a somewhat completed book. And if you'll look closely, you can admire the perfectly even, non-ruptured spine of the book. We don't make mistakes here at Ben's Blunders, Tim. You can see the nice smudge markings that show hard work and determination. And some nice lovely spine in between, and you know, we like to keep the barcode there in case we want to try to return it. We're gonna stick a little bit of tape in that so that way don't, or glue, not tape. It went back in. You squeeze it. We're gonna move on to the next one. Okay, so we're gonna start off by putting paint on the thing, and then we're gonna figure out what we're gonna make. Oh no! I don't really know what I'm doing.
That's okay.
Oh, actually. Nice and gentle. Uh-oh. Well, folks, the paint is dried, and this is the completed product, almost. As you can see, I've added some colors all mixed together to make a charming little landscape on fire. And on this side, we have a spectral effect, I believe is the term. It was actually coined by Van Gogh in the early 1970s. And all that remains is to write a little note on the front to title our creation.
You know, Ben, this is your first published book. Did you enjoy doing this craft?
There are moments when I stabbed the table, I stabbed the book, I stabbed papers, and I stabbed myself. But all I really want to do was stab the people that made me do this. I got paint on the table. I have glue on my pants. I have glue everywhere. So I'm doing great, Craig.
It looks good.
Yes.
Was the article easy to follow?
The article was easy to... The spirit was willing, but the flesh was weak. Don't glue your paintbrush to a piece of paper, and you'll probably find your way out of the maze. Well, this has been hopefully an enjoyable episode of Ben's Blunders, and we look forward to having you next time as we look to inflate a giant crocodile. This has been the first episode of Ben's Blunders, and Brian Sands, please come back.